Hey, what's up, guys? This is Hassan with the Struggling Day Trader channel, and I'm here to go over my trades for the day. Um, Man, today was very bad. you know, I'm a long trader. I don't do any short trading at all, so there has to be a particular atmosphere in the market for me to really be able to engage it and have a high probability of having a successful day. And I knew when I sat down at my desk this morning that today was not a good day. Everything was gapping down. There was only one stock gapping up, which was Target, and it really didn't have that much volume for real. It just, I don't know, man. I like when I was building my watch list, nothing fit my criteria. I just basically put the stocks that I had been trading over the past week or so on there just to watch to see if maybe I could catch some bounces, some reversals, and things like that, which are not really my strong suit. I don't really have a plan for days like today, and I think that's where I really fell short. I don't have a plan. Okay, so what happens when I sit at my desk and nothing meets my criteria? Like, what do I do? Um, yeah, so I guess today probably is a good day to reflect on that and come up with a plan for that. So let's start out just looking at the SPY. Um, if you look at the daily, it was all good, right? This was a cool day. This was a cool day. Yesterday was a bit of a turnaround, you know. Um, Yesterday it went up, but it closed, with a top wick, which is clear sign of a reversal. And all right, yeah. So yeah, I mean, this was a clear sign of a reversal, and it was already gapping down in pre-market. Everything was gapping down in pre-market. So I really should have had a strong no trade today bias, and it's just hard for me when I'm sitting here looking at things, especially watching the 1 minute. My guy Hadi, man, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you been hanging out with me on the live stream the last 2 days, man, making it a real cool experience for me. Um, he's telling me, you're getting chopped up trading on that 1 minute chart, and I'm just so used to doing it, and I've had so many successes on the 1 minute chart. It's hard for me to just, get away from it because usually whenever I make a mistake, it's not because the 1 minute did something weird. It's because I made a mistake. I rushed into something. I, misinterpreted, price action because I just, I had my own personal bias. So I feel like that's something that I should be able to correct eventually. But he does make some very good points, about getting confirmation on the higher time frames, on the 5 and the 15. And we were watching SMCI a lot today. And we were watching the 15 and the hourly and, and I peeped what he was saying. It made a lot of sense. Like this entry right here was all from I got in here because of the 15 and the 5. That's what made me feel comfortable there, and that was one of the few things I was able to make money on today. you know man, shout out to you, Hattie. Appreciate you joining me and sharing your ideas with me. But anyway, let's start out here with AMD since it's at the top. All right, so if you join me in the mornings, you know that I put a 10-minute timer over this level 2, which is supposed to keep me out of the trade, keep me out of the market for the first 10 minutes. But what do? I moved that thing out the way and jumped into AMD here. And the reason I did that was, so you know me, I like to draw this line over the opening volume, the opening candle, right? And I only like to interact with it above that. When it trades above that and retests and holds above that, that's when I like to interact with it. And so it jumped up here and then came and retested. I mean, it's choppy because it's on the 1 minute, but if you just talk through what happened here, right? It broke through, sold back down a little bit, and retested this area, and it got bought back up. And it was down here and retested again, and then it bought back up. So I bought the break. And it was a great trade, but the problem, I'm looking for the home runs now. Like trading these big caps, I'm looking for $3 moves minimum, you know. But when you get in the first couple minutes, the moves are very quick and the pullbacks are very quick. So if I want to play this early in the game, I think I need to be a lot more aggressive with taking profit, because I literally watched this happen and looked at my level 2 and thought about taking some off and then did nothing, right? And watched it come back down, got stopped out right here. And if I would have waited 10 minutes, if I would have let my timer play all the way out before getting in, that would have been this candle. This was the 10-minute candle, right? I would have been watching it, and when it pulled back to here and made this nice hammer pin candle, I definitely see myself putting in an order here and buying in, right? And then I would have gotten, let's see, a high of that is 201, right? So I would have put my order at 201.01, and the top was 204.99, like home run, $4 move. But I was a bit discouraged after getting stopped out here. Normally I would jump back in, but I mean, I got slapped up so much yesterday that I was a little reluctant. So let me raise that up. Why is that wick not showing? Yeah, so that didn't work out. And then I started playing it over here a little later in the day. Let me go back to the big picture. And so pretty much, you know, you can kind of see how I respected that high volume level that I marked out from the opening candle. It tested here, and then it came and just chopped around in this area, broke above, and broke back below. But it kind of consolidated here. And if you look over at the 5, this chop right here was this 5-minute candle. And that's a pretty nice signal, right? So I bought it. And then switched over to the 1 minute. And what did I do? Got a little excited because it broke over, made a higher high and a higher low here, and I added. And what did that do? It ruined my trade because I had to raise my stop, right? As you can see, if I would have just left this entry alone, the low of this was 290, and it didn't even get that low. It got to 293 over here. So my stop would have been safe with this retest of that area, and I could have added here or here, right? This would have been a nice little add right here on the 5, and boom. But anyway, I stopped out here, jumped back in on the top. This was a terrible trade here. This was terrible. Jumping, like, you want to get the pullback, right? And no, I'm seeing the green as it's moving up and FOMO'd in right there, stopped right back out, and then it turned right back around again after it stopped me, because of course it's back down at this level again where it's been turning around previously. So anyway, higher high, higher low here. I decided to get back in. This was actually a great entry on the 1 minute because I had a great risk to reward. These trades back here was this was 25 shares, and then I added 25, and then I went back in here with 50. So, but with This is why I like the 1 minute, because I can get, when I read it correctly, I can get these really great entries. So I got in here with 100 shares, put my stop in right under there, and it was off to the races. It turned out to be a great trade. I saw it bumping at 204, but I was really wanting to get back to high of day. Even though I knew this was a really heavy level, I should have, at minimum, dragged my stop up under this candle right here. Yeah, for sure. When that high volume comes in at the top, that's when it's really time to consider taking profit and tightening up your stop, at least for a leg. I could have at least sold half again, because I had 50 shares at that time. I could have sold another 25 here and then stopped out my last 25 there. That would have been a better trade. But hindsight is 2020. I was able to recoup my losses from, I don't know where it was, but my loss on that ticker was only $4.73. So thank God for that. But we can definitely do much better. So let's take some notes on this. So AMD, I'll say, what happened? FOMO'd in before 10-minute timer. Will break. All right. Second entry. Good entry on 5 min. Ruined. Trade by adding. And raising stop. I can't really remember a time that I've added and it worked out too well. Like rarely. It seems like most of the time when I add, actually I think maybe I added yesterday and it worked out okay. It just seems like whenever I need to move my stop up past my initial entry stop, when it stops me out when I do that, I don't like it. And so that makes me not want to add, because ruining your trade when your first entry was good sucks. So new rule, no ads. And third entry, sniper entry on 1 minute. Need to take profits at clear levels. Alright. ARM. Ooh, I don't even want to look at ARM. I'm ashamed of my ARM trades, honestly. I'm ashamed. Oh, it's so bad. There's no time frame except maybe the 15-minute that I could justify. But no, look at this long range. This range is longer, almost as long as the opening range. There's no justification for this. Buying at the top of a move. I don't even understand what I was looking at. This? Could it have been that? That's terrible, man. And like literally buying as it moves into this support line. Like at least let it break over and retest. Rookie trading. That's something that's super rookie. Like when you first start trading, you buy high and sell low. Like that's you buy the tops because you see green and get excited, and then as soon as you get in, it pulls back and you stop out. That's what this was. Straight trash. Straight trash. This is when you look over at the 5 minute and it's like, nah, that ain't it. Right? That ain't it. That ain't it. And this one here, buying away from VWAP. Buying away from VWAP. Why don't I buy away from VWAP? Because more times than not, it's on its way down to VWAP. You know, I'll see, I'm probably looking at an area, a previous high that it seems to be testing, right? But when that happens, that's one convergence, right? Like, we want multiple things to line up to make a trade ideal, right? So not just it pulling back to VWAP, but it pulling back to VWAP and that location also being a previous high or a previous support or previous resistance, right? So we need at least two things to line up right. Right? So say it does all that and the 1 minute has a hammer candle. You know what I mean? Or the 15 minute is setting up. So we definitely need to have more things happening than just one look. You know what I mean? And even then, this entry's trash. At least I could have bought right here. You know? Honestly. If I would have bought right here, I could you can actually trade these little guys. Right? You can get 2-to-1 on that. You could get 2-to-1 on that. You can get 2-to-1 on that all day. And that's actually how I used to trade. I used to scalp like that. So I would get in. This is 134.49 to 134.63. So like 14 cents. So I would probably get 15 cent worth of risk. 150 shares for a $25 risk. And I would sell 30 cents up. So I'll probably get in at 134.64 or 65, and I would sell at 95, which was easy for this. Went up to 135. That would have been boom. It's hard, man, because it's like I'm trading multiple strategies because I want to get into a trade so bad, you know? So, yeah, ARM was trash, minus 83.65 after it's all said and done. That was 1, 2, 3 stop outs. So slightly more than 3R down on that. Tisk. Yeah, do better. Alright, NVDA. So, come in here, put my line in there, and I saw it holding right here. It broke this previous high, and it pretended like it wanted to hold here. That was terrible. This is bad. No excuse. On the 5, I mean, it's still not testing anything, though. I mean, you could say it's testing this level, but that's not a real serious level. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, that's a whole different trade there. Yeah, that wasn't it, man. That wasn't it. That was not it. Then we tried it here again. Yeah, that's not it. Just throwing darts, man. Just throwing darts, man. There's just no excuse. I don't even know how to break that down. I can't even break that one down for you. All right, SMCI. This was just like, I don't know, trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. No real reason to trade this right here. It's on the bottom side of BWAP. rule break. SMCI. Let's say long under VWAP. Rule break. It's like every trade that is from a rule break, it's money that you didn't need to spend. You know? It's money that you didn't need to waste. It's capital that could have been reserved for other opportunities that came up later in the day, but I didn't want to take them because I was already negative. I didn't want to risk. I couldn't risk anymore. So sitting on hands is probably the most important skill that I don't have, is sitting on hands and just waiting for that perfect setup. Yeah. I need to practice a couple days just sitting here and doing nothing. Just watching. But later that day, we got this level here that was tested 3 times, right? And it started moving up. Now, what made me like this was the 15. That's why it's like, why did you buy right here? It's because of the 15 minute, right? So look at this level, test it 3 times, and then this 15-minute candle here, nice bottoming wick. That was the one. And my guy Hattie pointed it out to me. We were looking at the 15, we're looking at the hourly, and everything was saying it's good. You know? So I got in here with 1 share. 1 share. Why? Because this one candle, the top to bottom, is almost $25, right? And that's my risk. So got that. I was able to give the stop some room and let it do some work, right? And it worked out. It was working out. It went up to this next level, consolidated. That was a bit scary, but my stop was down here because I was trading on the 15-minute, which was good, right? Then we get up here, break above VWAP, and also I'm watching the SPY. The SPY is kind of making a reversal at this time, and it gave me confidence to add, right? Now, it doesn't look like anything on the 5 or the 15. This was just a purely 1-minute price action, right? So came up, broke over VWAP, higher high, and made a nice little candle here. So my entry was so low and the price had already moved so far away from it. Adding 1 more share would only bring my average to this area. And so I was able to put my stop at break even after adding a share here. So now I'm at 2 shares and my stop is still safely beneath this level. So that was a great add. I can't be mad at that add at all. That was great. And it worked. It worked great. Never saw any red after that. And it traded up, man. Made some nice moves. And I didn't take profit where I could have. Where I should have, you know. But I took profit. I took some profit, you know what I mean? And so I was able to recover these 2 bad trades and closed out up $10.96 on SMCI. So aside from these longs under VWAP, the time I feel like it is okay is when you have at least a double bottom, which we had, and we got a higher low, which we had. We got double bottom here, we got the higher low here, and on the 15-minute, we got this nice doji candle. I'm not mad at that at all. That's decent. You get in. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to play reversals, this all has to line up, really, because you below VWAP, you got everything against you. You know what I mean? So I like this trade. I like this add. I wish I would have taken profit up here near 1040. But hey, man, can't win them all. Can't win them all. But that was a good trade, though. Good trading for sure in the last trade. And Target, man, Target was really disappointing. This is the only one I had hope for today, and I didn't trade it that well. So it traded up, made a couple highs, then a lower low, traded up, made another high, and a higher low here, testing at VWAP. So this isn't a terrible entry. I'm not too mad about that. But it just didn't go anywhere. The SPY was trading down the entire day, and there was just no orders coming in on this bad boy. Of course, until later in the day. Then then it moved up $3, So that sucked. But I'm glad I didn't waste a bunch of money getting chopped up, trading it over and over again. I think this would have been a nice entry, or maybe over here. This isn't really a trigger candle. Not really seeing much on the 5-minute, except for maybe this narrow range green guy right there. Really was nothing for me to do with Target today. But at least just one swing and a miss on that, so I can't be terribly upset. And same here with coin, just one swing and a miss. I guess I bought this lower low. Oh gosh. Coin bought lower low at VWAP. Gotta be the higher low, man. Gotta be the higher low. So yeah, ultimately today, understanding that none of the stocks that nothing really met my criteria to be put on my watch list. And if I'm considering this as my job, I still need to sit here and watch the market and see if I can find some opportunities. And I think on days like today, I just need more things converging, more things, more than just one thing telling me that this is a good trade to enter. You know what I mean? But really, this could have just been a sit on hands day. This really could have been a sit on hands day. With the way the SPY was trading, there was just not really any good looks. But, things don't go down the entire day. So you should expect to catch a reversal or two. But definitely got to use the higher time frames when I'm hunting reversals. Got to be more patient for, double confirmation, for double bottoms and higher low retests, like all of that. Not just the double bottom, but a double bottom and a higher low. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, these are the struggles. I sometimes you trade, you're in the moment, and then you go back and look at your trades, and you have no idea why you took the trade, and I got a couple of those today, and it's just part of the game, just got to be better, just got to be more conscious, be more aware, and believe in the rules, believe that the reason that I made it a rule is to protect myself, and because I've proven that this is something that needs to be acknowledged and held fast to, So, yeah, these are my struggles. If you relate to any of these, drop me a comment, man, so I'm feeling alone. Hopefully you learned something. I definitely learned some tough lessons today, but we live to trade another day. Appreciate you stopping by. Hit that like button. Throw me a subscribe. I'm trading live every day, the good and the bad. You're going to see me have some awesome trades sometimes, and then days like today where I just totally suck. So, yeah, don't copy my trades, but, hang out with me and we'll talk about the things I'm doing and talk about whatever you're doing and, hang out and try to get this thing figured out together, man. Anyway, peace.